negotiating with your HR, you must go and show them the reason as to why they should increase that money. Right? If you want someone to buy a dress, you must be able to show them. That is like someone is making a sale, but they must be able to articulate it in a way that you understand. And what we fail at most of the times, especially people that are in not just career, but business, and people helping business, sometimes we fail to articulate enough for people to understand what we are selling. When we post those posts, sometimes people don't understand that we are selling anything. So they think you're just posting for the sake of posting. Abam nebagambo yoyeraga. Abam nebagambo watch because you put on a picture and you've put on a motivational quote. So what do you want to tell us? Are you going to encourage us forever? Want you? Motivate us forever? At some point you will have to sell. I know some of us don't want to admit to that, but at some point you have to sell. Now, the criteria, I think we have gone through it. For those of you that it's your first time, you find your niche, right? Okay? After finding your niche, what comes next? You know your audience. Your audience are your customers, okay? After getting to know your audience, you obsess with their problems. Now, after obsessing with their problems, you go into messaging. After you go into messaging, you go into content creation. Now, this is a criteria for every type of business. Every type of business that you're going to do, that number one, you're going to know that I am dealing in women clothes. I'll just give an example. That I am dealing in women, clothes for women. Number two, the women are many. There are those who are 21 years old. There are those who are executives. There are those in corporate. There are those who put on salamwana. Do you know there are people that have niched down on only clubbing clothes? Yeah. That is all. And they have a clientele that is very wasteful. They buy anytime. Every time they want to go to a club, they put on something new. To the extent there are those who are even renting those clothes. I put on like that every day. So now what I resorted to, by the way, very high class girl. What I resorted to, I have someone in downtown. I no longer buy new clothes, those expensive clothes. Downtown, this person is a celebrity. Like a well-celebrated person. Of course, in the heathen and clubbing and emceeing and doing all those things. But you realize there are people that have niched down in that. There are people that have niched down in casual clothes. T-shirt jeans, torn jackets, that is their vibe. Now, that person has niched down and they have their specific audience that, you know what, I am dressed in the corporate world. So they know their audience. Now, they obsess and they're like, you know what, these people, the problem they have is they don't know where to find the clothes. And then the other problem they have, they don't want to go to look for the clothes. They want the clothes brought to them. And then number three, they don't know what is trending and what is on market. So now I am going to be the informant, the alpha and omega of this business. So I'm going to obsess over their problems. That now they put on a dark jean. That is why you will find a person with a collection of jeans, like 50 of them. But someone will come, but you don't have this shade. But this material is different from the one you bought last time. This one, like you have obsessed over their problem, that now you are more informed about their problem, that now you are a trusted source of supply. Okay? So even when you are in the coaching business, when you get obsessed with people's problems, every time you speak, when you sit down with someone will be like, you're the kind of person I want to listen to. Right? Why? Because you know their problem. You'll be like, you get it? As in, you are bringing one by one, and they're like, but you are exactly mentioning what is in my life. Why? Sometimes it's because of experience, but sometimes it's because we have the discernment, and then we have obsessed and we have researched and we have sought to know and we have listened to people's problems that now we are older, that we sound older than our age. Do you know that someone can be 25? I know on one hand it can be bad, but on the other hand, when you are obsessed with their problems, now you know the messaging. That is why you will see that on a certain, when it comes to matters of, let me say, what niches do we have here? Rich women who want to date. When it comes to the matters, you're like, I have gone through it, Kalida, I am your expert in this, you know? You know, you're the one, you put your vibe out there and the people that you're receiving are not people your class. Yeah? Or you receive people who are your class, but people who actually don't even know what to do. So you realize that you have obsessed over their problems because of personal experiences, because of other people's experiences and the research that you have done. Now you can be able to articulate it very well. When you articulate it, I'll be like, you know what, this is, when it comes to leadership, I will only trust this person because they know what they're talking about. When someone sees your content, they see that, by the way, you really understand. Today, I followed a certain page. For so long, I have looked, because we are into real estate, I have looked for people who do very nice doors, and then kitchens and wardrobes and stuff like that. Do you know that it's so easy in this town to fail to get good people? And yet they are there. So I would search and I would only see Kenyan companies. Until today, randomly, something fell on my Instagram and someone was actually speaking Luganda and I was like, what? They're showing me a walk-in closet. They're showing me a fully fledged kitchen that has the kind of things that I really want to create in the apartments that I'm creating. And I'm like, no, this person actually has my business. I don't care how much they charge, whether they're expensive or what. I can cut a deal because there are many apartments that I want to do. So you realize that he spoke my language. Number one, when he spoke Luganda, I was like, he's in Uganda. Number two, yes, the video quality was good. And I was like, is this really Ugandan? Some things you can actually second guess. You're like, eh. And then this person was actually speaking the real language. This is what you do, taking the camera, zooming on certain corners. And I was like, I've not seen Ugandans do this. So you realize that he knows what people want. It's like where to place your socks, where to place the long dresses, where to place everyone who has ever wanted a walk-in closet. You actually have them. Because you're articulating their problem. And now, when you come to me and charge me twice as much, I am still your customer. I'll give you the money because you know my pains. Okay? So, that is where the messaging comes. The content creation comes in after that. Now, after this is when you're supposed to start making money, right? Making money. But making money comes out of conversion. Okay? There has to be a sieve that converts. That, you know what, I have seen you for a very long time. You've created this content for a very long time. For example, on the business page, we have people that are doing, they have gyms and they're doing personal they're instructors. And so, you know your niche. By the way, there are people who are gym instructors. Their niche is for women who have given birth and their stomachs have refused to go back. That is a niche. That means they know their audience. That means they will be obsessed by that person. So they will tell you, oh, yambale engo yenene, so that okweka. Yeah. Do you see how obsession, because you can be a man by obsess about a woman's problem. Because that is a problem that you actually give. And you're like, I know some of you don't want to do vigorous exercises, so you can do pilates. And you're like, you just need to be consistent, and you don't need to do it for an hour, but you can do it for 15 minutes. You have obsessed over my problem. So now you know I am lazy. And I don't want to do anything for a longer time. And then the other two, the other thing you're like, you don't have to come to the gym. I can actually drive to your place and we work out at your place. You have me at another point. You have obsessed over my problem. That means you must get into my mind and read what I want and be able to deliver what I want. The money that we want is in people's pockets. We are not going to twist their arms. We are not going to rob from them. But we are going to go through the process and be able to convert clients that will be able to give us the money. You can't tell me, oh, I'm a relationship coach, and then when I tell you start speaking about relationship, you can only speak for 2 minutes. When I tell you what are the problems that people in relationships are facing, you actually are like, I can only name 5. Why? No, you've not stepped enough into my feet to understand what I am going through. The reason as to why people have been so keen when it comes to narcissistic relationships and toxic relationships, when it comes to coming to me, it's because I speak their language. Because I have seen it, I have witnessed it, I have seen people go through it, I know the pain, I know the second guessing, I know the loss of self-esteem, I know the loss of confidence, I know the walking on eggshells, being gaslit, as in, so when you, everything you speak, guys, you don't have to speak anything new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. But I will tell you, I will speak the same thing like Lavender will speak, and Lavender will give it more weight, and it will sound lightweight for me. Remember when we were talking about businesses last time, when we talked about the earning, we talked about the implementation. When they cap your salary and they say you're going to earn 2 million, you're going to earn 3 million, you're going to earn 5 million, you do not have power within you to scale the business because you are working in someone's business. When you come to the level of communication, you have the power to earn less or to earn more. That means you have a blank check. As a coach, when you go through a month without a client, whose fault is it? As a business person, when you go through the month without earning the kind of money that you want, whose fault is it? You cannot say economy, because in the same country where another person's business is thriving, your business is falling. So you cannot say it's about economy. Do you know what the difference is? Our articulation and how we speak and how we sell ourselves and how we market ourselves. So this is the level of communication. You can earn as much. We are not capping you. Actually, the best we can do if we are, your smallest month should be 5 million. The least month. Wanji? Some of you are like, chisoboka, chikolachi. Your least month should be 5 million. Everyone pays 100,000 and this is a self-paced course, and you go ahead and align your course. And you give us 6 modules, and people actually, while you are sleeping, people are busy paying money into your bank account. It doesn't mean that you didn't work hard. You worked and put a course together. Now people are being able to buy, and that can be evergreen, that even after 10 years, they can still buy the same course. And it will still be applicable. So do you realize that we limit ourselves so much? That you can still be, do you know that someone can be on the implementation level and cross to communication? No. You can be an employee that does work in your organization or company. When you come here for mentorship, we go through your niche. We go through your audience. We go through obsessing the problems, messaging, creating content, and creating the funnels of making money. And all of a sudden, you have a side hustle that you are nurturing while you're doing your day job. And a time can come when these two can switch, because your side hustle is earning more than your day job. So do you see that you have the leeway to jump from here to go to communication? You can be a manager and jump to communication. And the highest level is getting from communication to imagination. When you get to imagination, this is where the book that I launched in 2016, up to now, money is coming in. They are buying soft copies, they are buying hard copies, and I don't do anything on the book. So I imagine the product. I put the product in an era where not so many people were writing. I wrote my book. I launched my book. And when you read Deliberately Selfish right now, it is more useful than it was years ago. So now that is the level of imagination, that this one, you stay earning. That when you put your content on YouTube, you're going to still earn from those videos because people are going to keep seeing them. Do you get the power of imagination? That imagination, you don't have to be planning, speaking. Katika no kagule. Why? Because as you go on building your brand, Your personal brand. People get to ask you, how many books have you written? Can I get one of your books? Because you've been somewhere, you've spoken, and all of a sudden, people are touched, and they're like, can we have her merchandise? So now, you are leaving a trail behind of people who are looking to buy. Why? Because they want to hear more of you. They want to listen to you. Why is it that when you go to speak and you're like, my name is Bahati Hilda Sabiti, some people are already typing. Who is Bahati Hilda Sabiti? What does she do? Chala wa manyu. I've seen them so many times. So many times. Yesterday I was at Housing Finance, and their chief of human resource was telling me, do you know the person that suggested you as a man? We were talking, and they had brought some names, and I had chased them. I've told them, you know what, 10 people that they suggested to speak, and I was like, no, we cannot have them. And then a man was like, you guys are going to love this lady. I don't remember her name, but she is. And then he described me. After describing some of the ladies that were around, we surely can't fail to get this person on TikTok. They went to TikTok. They found that, sorry?
How did they search for you when you had forgotten the name?
He had forgotten the name, but I don't know what, because he told them she does marriage, she does what. So different people were watching different videos in the whole department. They were on one issue. We have a few days to go. It's Women's Day, and we want someone that we can trust to be able to speak. And all of a sudden, someone's like, is she the one? He was like, yes, she's the one. They called me. When I told them the amount, they didn't even say a thing. They just told me, they said it's okay. Wow. And when I arrived, they're like, the real you in picture, as in you're the whole package that he actually described. And I was like, I wonder what he described. And I remember I told him that, you know what? A token is coming to you. So I'm going to compile all my merchandise and make sure that I send him some bonuses, because that is why I say that, let me tell you, God can position angels to mention you in rooms where you are not. Yes. So when I talk about the power of prayer, you don't take it lightly. Why is it that others are denied? It's possible that whoever was denied, it's possible that they actually have more qualifications. I'm not the most qualified person in this country. You get it? But it's possible that someone can say no to someone who is more qualified, and then one who has favor is able to go through the door. But the power of communication. So while you create your content, do you know that some people have to first relate to your content before they want to relate with you? Even invite you. They're like, let me watch 5 of her videos. And then I think it was you who told me that, how comes every video that you actually do has a message? There is no video that you can say. Have you ever looked at some speakers and you're like, lero ya ganye. Like kanokena budeko kafu. So that means you should strive to make sure that your communication is very clear and articulate, and there is value in every communication that you make. So never make communication for the sake of, let me just shoot a video. You're not just shooting a video. You're giving information and you're giving value. That is what you've been doing. Sometimes. Okay? So, articulation. We've gone through the unification. Many people have great ideas, but they can't put them out. So the best thing here is, and I think I've given us the formula, think like a genius, and then speak like a school dropout. Why? Because your information must be simplistic, and it must be straight to the point. That is why you see that sometimes you don't need words. Abambala, you've seen people doing katemba while they are selling their dresses. Now, these days, they get 2 beautiful women who have nyash. And then they come and they dress and they start doing katemba. And all of a sudden, people are like, how much is that dress? Where can I get it from? Can I find it online? Can you deliver here? And people are buying even from other countries. That is communication, because even your silence is communication. Just like we say, indecisiveness is a decision. The moment you decide that, you know what, I will not promote my business, then you are deciding that you do not want to make sales. That, you know what, the people that know me, we are away from the era of corner shops. We are out of that. Even the corner shops are becoming mini grocery shops, right? And mini supermarkets. Why? Because there is value chain that is being added at every level. So get good at communication and break down complex issues. There are people that have made, they are selling carpentry, and they have broken down how to tell whether wood is good, whether wood is authentic, and wood that is not authentic. You are breaking it down for me. So next time I want to buy, I'll be like, you know what? Let me go to this person. He broke down an authentic, something that was very complex for me. When someone tells you that, you know what, I can actually, there are people on TikTok who are breaking down how to ship things from China. And they're making it easy for every layman. Where it was just stuck to a certain group of people to import things from China, right now, if you have your money, you can import things from China. There are people that are like, buy from USA, receive in Uganda. Buy from Dubai, receive in Uganda. And then they will show you, they will go to Dubai and they will do videos and they will take you around, show you the shoes, show you the jackets, show you everything that you really want. And they will tell you that, by the way, at the same price. You will just pay us for shipping or you will just pay us for delivery. As in they're breaking down complex issues. That if I want to buy a lipstick from the US, it's no longer a riddle. It's something that I can actually do right now and I will receive it. Okay? So even when it comes to your coaching, break down the hard things. People need to be told. That is why we say call to action. When you give me motivational quotes upon motivational quotes, I don't know what you're telling me. Can you tell me that if you need to work with me, book my counseling sessions, book me for a keynote speech, okay? Invite me to your school. What are you selling? That means you have to be very articulate about what you are selling, so that people can be able to buy. Why do you think hospitals have big pandas saying DNA testing? Otherwise, every hospital would have said and said, you know, we do DNA testing, but we don't need to tell it to anyone. That is a call to action. That should you kutankana DNA, come here. That is a call to action. So people, let me tell you, we are in a generation where people are busy, stressed, overwhelmed, depressed. We need complex issues broken down. As in, mbulira, kubanga, twandigambye nti, even for bathrooms, for ladies and gentlemen, you would have said that, you know what, we're going to take a test kapande. But you will find that someone will stagger into a man's toilet ngalaba kuliko kapande ka musajja. So what they do, they even write it, women in bold letters. And they put a signage, an arrow. And then, as in, break it down. You want me to come to your office? Tell me. Even in a video. Why do you think we give event directory for events? You're like, if you're coming to which place, there are so many places where events are done, but there's a place where they don't allow bukondo. So at some point we had to actually tell our people that, you know, if you're coming, make sure it's a flat shoe or it's a wedge. Come at this time. The doors will be open at this time. Otherwise, you will hear people asking, what time is it starting? Why? Give us, break down the complex information. Give it to us the way it's supposed to be given to us. And most time people get frustrated because they don't understand. If you don't understand me, I'm speaking gibberish, you're speaking Luganda. So every time, and every time you're like, what did she say? And then we are lost in translation. And you're like, and we lose out on business. Whether you're selling eggs, gamba gana majiga yo gawuma, no yellow yolk, teringa ya bulijjo, enkoko tezalidde emmere ya bulijjo. As in, do you see what people go through? And yet, you will be here and you go your corporate, you have a degree, and then and you're like, let me wait for people. When they see a picture of a bizigo, they will come. Nedda bagambe bino. Bijanjaba oluwumu, bino bijanjaba ki? Why do you think abebizindalo bakola? Biyenje, kokunyi, bichi, never yimba. What are they doing? What are they doing? Kakati singa nabo babadde corporate ne bayingira akatale ne bagamba buli ayine kukunya ajja kujja tusange ani yandibalabye tiwali yandibalabye. But this is what they will even do. They will not use a voice of a corporate person to say biyenje nkukunyi ngayogera. Have you seen how those guys do? These days, I have even had someone, but I'm collecting up bottles. What are they called? The ones who recycle things. Olinagamba, tutwala amachupa olinaga mazima. Aga tutwala ye daddy. What are they doing? They are communicating. And now, in that instance, they are hooking you. Because when you hear me make a joke, have you gone through the Mutasa where and seen those people, how they put on those buzindalo on their shops? Number one, they make it too bright. Okay? They put in too many lights. And then they will put a kazindalo. And they will say, customer to it, no, and what are they doing? They are telling you we might as well tell you what we have. But now when we get corporate, we feel like should not, someone should see me. When I post motivational quotes, they will know that I'm a counselor. They will know that I'm a coach. We don't know. We don't know what you are coaching because there are 1,000 things that people coach in. So can you tell me vividly that if you want relationship with if you want help with your relationship, I am your go-to person. And then give me value in your content. Because when I consume value, and I consume value, and I consume value, Chadachi. Someone told me today that, you know what, at the time that I wanted to come, I couldn't come because I needed to make certain decisions. That means there are certain clients that will consume our products, but they are still in their decision making. So now we make it easy for them to understand why they must make that decision. So between a client's decision to consume and they're actually consuming, between here, there is a lot of work for us to do in order to convert. Remember we talked about the lead generation? Lead generation is like a funnel. The lead generation is up here. Lead generation is really generating leads. That I will post my content, I will talk about the problem, I will talk about, and this is where we talked about reach and reputation when you're building personal brand. And we said here you do the paid ads. When you do the paid ads, these days it's so easy, they can even come to your WhatsApp. So that means when they come to your WhatsApp, you're giving them the information that they need to be able to get. And now they are able to make decisions. Some of them are not going to make decisions, but there are some that are going to make decisions. So that means you're getting more people up here. For example, if you're getting 1,000 people checking on you because of making ads, because of content marketing, because of brand influencing, because of social media and all that, and even cold marketing, you calling people and telling them this is what I do. You sending messages, generic messages to people in all your phone directory. You're like, you write a generic message and you're like, okay, do you know that you're here? But some of your in-laws, some of your mother's-in-law don't even know what you do. They would have been the ones sending customers to you, but they don't know what you do. Sorry? Auntie, there is sometimes we want to hide, but business jibakube mumaso, bajimanye, so that they can be brand ambassadors. Because remember, we talked about those that remember in the lead generation, we talked about partners. There are some partners who will represent us in places. Agambe, no, if you want this, go to so and so. And all of a sudden, someone comes to you, gives you money. You get it? Why? Because you have partners. So lead generation. Now, when lead generation comes, just like when you pour fuel. Now, here, this is the nurturing. Here, you're giving them information because now you've gotten people who are attracted to you. And that is where you must be able to go and make sure that you audit your pages. Because some of us, you want, let me just say, you deal with tailors or you supply them. But on your page, there is nothing like you are targeting tailors. So we don't know what you are doing actually. You're saying you're an entrepreneur. Who is an entrepreneur? Remember we said be a genius, speak like a third grader or speak like a primary 3 child. So you don't put an entrepreneur, you put I coach tailors or I supply tailors with textiles. So now when you do that, you have simplified it. Now when people come in, the people that are going to come through your funnel are actually, that is, so many people are selling and misfiring on social media. Do you know what they're doing? They're selling to audiences that are not there. There's someone who was telling me yesterday that whenever they put out an ad, guess what? it's only their competitors who are coming into the funnel. Because this person was actually a social media manager. And it's like, I have more social media managers following me than the small businesses. Now, she had never articulated it on her profile that she actually addresses small businesses. She helps them grow. She helps them get clientele and get customers. So when you put social media manager, when I'm social media manager and I see your content is good, I want to follow you so that I can see what you're doing. Yeah. So now you end up having thousands of competitors following you. You can be a coach and you have thousands of coaches that are following you because your content is on point. But remember, you're not selling to coaches. You're selling to people who have relationship issues. You're selling to single ladies who want to be able to date well. You're selling to people in narcissistic relationships who are seeking to know, should I go, should I stay? Now, if you cannot pinpoint their pain, and not just pinpointing, but exaggerating their pain. Wanji? Bo mugamba oshetaga omugabo oshetagira ddala. Bw'obanga tozze kundaba. Bw'ova kunzogenda kuwanga to. Do you understand what I'm trying to put across? Is sales so hard? Doing sales and marketing? Is it? No. Like we have broken it down. Is it that hard? For now it's not. But when you get back after, you go back and then you're thinking, obaka kati bigambo chibiyemba nkozesa. Obaka kati nga mu mutwe ekyokwogera okirina naye ogamba bakati ntandise na phrase chinti once upon a time. Ntandise. And then you start fumbling. It doesn't have to be hard. Say it as you feel it. We are not here to please. No. Actually, abantu boyogera nabo bagenda kukitegera kyoyogera. Fe boyagala okupleasinga, we are not your customers. Do you know that half the time the people we want to please are not our customers? Yes. If you're a coach, you want to please other coaches. When they get to my content, it's spot on, it has hooks, and then it has good English, and then it has the people that you are targeting. Half the time, they're not even on Instagram. They are on Facebook. And what they understand is, go live, or malo obabulire ebizibu byabwe. They understand more video content. Or they even understand short form content. But you are writing a long script. So I need you to redefine who is your exact audience. Who is your client? Who is your customer? And then, what do you have to offer them? Make sure that you articulate it. That you know what? Relationship advice. Some of us run away from some of those things because we think they're ambiguous. But I want you to look at everyone that is doing relationship on a bigger scene or on a global level. You'll find that they are putting relationship advice or relationship expert. And yet most of us, we are running away from that. We are thinking that is too cheesy. And then people will think there can never be an expert in relationships. Those are people that are reasoning too much and people who never buy. So now we are targeting people who don't buy, who think they are above, and we are leaving the people who are actual customers. Are we together? So break down complex issues. What articulation does, it lowers resistance. What you don't want to do is to create resistance in your client, to start questioning. So articulation, when you start speaking too much English, and maybe your clientele is not in that horizon, then they're like, so you're not breaking it down. You're actually raising resistance. But if you do the right thing, you are lowering the resistance. You're telling me I am welcome. I can walk in any time. Do you see hotels and how people sometimes they hate going? You tell them, the event is at Serena. And they're like, mama, I'm Serena balala. Do you know that? But the day walk vulumu Serena ngachamutwalo. And no laga abantu nga bayingira no bagamba bojja itamugeti ya wansi obo itemu ya wagulu. Do you know why people give bulango to radio stations so that they can be endorsed by the presenters? is to break down information. They're like, you know what, nzenga company when najjo kunyonyola, it's possible your guards will be high. But presenter wo gwowuliriza buli lunaku Lady Titi, bw'anaakubuulira ku company yange, ojagamba akangende, kubanga ajja kijanjawaza abagambe banange mujje, abagala banange temutyayo, ebizibu byonna tubikolako, abalanga bizigo ki? Waliwo Mama Lususu? Wanji? Sure deal. Tally on every TV, Luganda TV. Why do you think she's investing that much money? Because the lead generation is pouring in. Okay? So the nurturing happens here, and the trickles that come down, this is the conversion rate. Eh? So that means now these ones are you have nurtured them, you have given them, they keep coming to you, you've been giving them value, and they're like, you know what, but I think I need this book. But you know what, I think I need to have a session with them. But you think, well, I think I need to invite them for a speaking engagement at our company. But you know, I think her dresses are really nice. I would really look good in those dresses. Now, the people that trickle in here are very few. But if you do your math well at the lead generation, and then the trick is in the nurturing. The lead generation, yes, it's good, you have to bring in as many people, but the nurturing is continuous. You never stop nurturing. Whether you're a business person, whether utunda binyebwa, whether utunda mberenge, whether utunda, you never stop nurturing. Ngobagambe mberenge zange nzisikisa butter. Emberenge zange za blue, siza white ngeza bulijjo. You keep nurturing them until they're like naimama. Kangezeko kumberenge zineza blue. Zo zitestinga zitya. Talanga ko omuntu ngayitiriza ekintu on social media. Nogana naimama kirayika kiwooma. Mwali mulayeka abachina bwe bali yago ebintu. Wanji? Nenjala yali ekulumyeko ngo balabanga balya. Wanji? Wala katwena na appetite. Fabaina appetite. So, amplify their pain. Amplifying their pain. Do you know how you say? Bana mucha zimbisa chino. You are amplifying their pain. They're like, eh? Sheikh, I am backward if I'm still using this kind of material. Huh? Mucha agenda ku bananyindi taka okwegirire taka, and yet you can have real estate brokers come through us. We will ensure that actually your money is safe before you buy anything a chempeo. So you're exaggerating my pain, and you're like, are you still going to the final to the seller yourself? I can represent you better. Ochagenda newenenyeza ebintu oli busy, olina office, olina emirimu egy'okukola. So now you are exaggerating my business, and then you're telling me I can deliver things at your office. So I'm like, and then when it comes to delivering things, my catalog will have all sorts of things, and then I will update you. I don't know whether you have people in your inboxes who update you about everything that they have, every new stock that they have. What are they doing? They're breaking it down, okay? Njobo chakozesa kamba okusala obutungulu no butungulu chumu, simanyi chop, simanyi do what, and yet waliwo kanosula mbusuzi no akamba nekirayika nina okubeera modern naye nga kakati ate opima omuliro ate kakati obitadde ku frying pan ate bisiridde ate it's not simanyi a non-stick frying pan, and you're like, here you can even fry chips without oil. Air fryer eranga nayo yaliwo. Until people who have them stopped using them. But everyone was on social media using an air fryer. And I am the kind who promised myself I'm not buying anything out of it being viral. I will wait until the wave is down so that I can buy it because I need it, not because I have been influenced. Because so many of us buy because we've been influenced, but that should show you that there is power in influencing. So, are you influencing enough? Are you showing enough? Are you bringing your cause, articulating it to the last dot that this is what I do with you? Come and take us how you even go through the sessions. Tell us, the last client that you worked on, what exactly were you talking about? Don't tell us the name of the client. Don't tell us, but tell us, you know, I'm just coming out of a session, and with this client, we were actually working on their retirement and how to actually get out of the crossroad between getting out of employment and getting into their business. And these are some of the 3 points that we talked about. Chances are there are people that are watching that clip that are in the crossroad of making that decision. Now, they know that you are the go-to person. You're the expert. You're like, some of you take pictures and you're like, you even show the background of pictures and you're like, you know, do you see where this lighting is wrong? Do you see where this is, if you want to take a picture like this, these are the gadgets. Now you have all the photographers. They're like, you know what, I think, and then you're like, I have a course, a beginner's course in photography. If you need a beginner's course, is 100,000 or 150,000. But I will help you clear all this, editing and taking out the shadows and being able to have a crisp and be able to actually be a celebrity photographer. Do you know that anyone can do anything in this age and era? Before you know it, you have 100 people signing up for the beginner's course. And you are teaching them what you are doing. You're not teaching them anything new. So tell me how, if you get to the communication business, you cannot make more than 5 million. You can make more than that. And if you create a global brand, you can actually make a lot more money, because when you sell one course, it's very possible that that course, for example, Accelerated Mentorship, has run since 2020. You cannot know the number of people that have come through Accelerated Mentorship. And some of them are international students. Right now, we have those in Kenya, we have those in Zambia, and we have those in Namibia. And then now, I have another arm that is dealing only with online students, because we had failed to actually connect. But apart from me overly giving value, if you're here, because there are people who will create a course and give only what the course is supposed to give. But my intention is that you will not just start a business and then get stuck in a business. My intention is that you will grow that business to the extent of being a very good communicator and be a very good imagination, so that you can keep earning money. Okay? That is my goal. So I need you to be able to exaggerate, articulate. It lowers their resistance. Okay? So if you want to communicate, number one, have something good to say. If you want to have something good to say, make sure that you read more books, you write more, you speak more. That is the only formula. You have nothing else. Number one. If you want to have something good to say, make sure that you read more, make sure that you write more, make sure that you speak more, because the more you speak, the more you get what to speak. So, and all of a sudden, I touch my abantu nabo batuwa energy. Bw'ojja n'obabulira ku kyotunda, n'obabulira ku lugoye, n'obagamba nti bannaye waliwo abakyala, n'oyambala ng'oli wa size bw'oti, oba oli wa shape bw'oti, oyambadde akantu kakumiima, akantu tekakutuuka, ate naawe n'okola ki? N'ojja mu bantu. So omuntu n'agamba nti, owa shape bw'eti alina kwambala bw'ati. You get it? So read more, understand more, speak more. Okay? And then number two, practice saying it well. It's not enough to say something good, practice saying it well. That means say it multiple times. There is someone who is selling a weight loss program, but every day they make a video about the same thing, and guess what? They will get 1 million views. The same thing, every day. That means we are not tired. Your followers are not tired. You are the one that is tired, and you're the one that is not creative enough. Nabagamba, mutayize no, omutayizeri, omugenderi, yogera ko Luganda, yogera Congo today, yogera Congo Tumblr. Make sure that you do them all, okay? So, and then the last one, as we close this session, say it often. Have something good to say, practice saying it well, and then say it often. And then make sure that you become profound. Turn your camera on, speak to the people. Get feedback, because feedback makes you better. You keep improving. Make sure there is nothing that hinders people from being helped by you. Whichever business. Or what under chicken feeds, or what under, make sure there is nothing that stands in the. Never take the blame and say, Nzata abanyanyola chimala. Nzata ayugira chimala. Nzata showing up chimala. Let the blame be on the clients that they didn't choose you. But show up enough. Talk about your gym, talk about your chicken feeds, talk about your porridge, talk about your antenatal services, talk about your clinic, talk about everything, and come to us every day and make sure that you mention until off head. Never to ekifaananyi kyo tuba tumanyi kyogenda okwogera. Tetujja kukoowa. We will still listen for as long as it is valuable. And that's the end of our session for today.